Should we just do some ASMR, just like hot breathing into the mic? Victor, you know what I'm talking about. You probably watched that.
My space bar doesn't work.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 35 of 2023, and we're recording live again here in Las Vegas. With me, I have my co-host, the Cloud God, who is very much in demand this week. Apparently, everybody wants a piece of the hot pad.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to handle all the attention,
The fame and the fortune.
Yeah, the best you can do is just thank people and kind of move on, right? Or ask some personal questions, I guess. But it's definitely strange. I saw my wife and my daughter about it. They're like, "Don't worry, when you come home, we'll ignore you. We'll make it normal again."
We'll make up for it.
Yeah. They're like, "We'll put you in your place, dummy."
And we have a returning guest this week, backed by popular demand. We have Victor DeLuca, good old BDL. Welcome back.
Hey guys, I'm sorry Glenn's not here, but I'll do my best to replace him.
You can wear the shoes, but you'll never fill them. So I got to protect him a little bit. Good to have you back, man.
Yeah.
It's VDL, not
VDL.
What do they call you last? JDL.
Jared.
JDL, Jared.
Subway dude.
Yeah, we know what Jared was about.
Jared Fogle.
Please don't.
Yep. Well, if you can't tell, there's no Glenn this week. We are recording live here in Las Vegas, and since Glenn is not here, we found a guest to fill his spot.
Glenn actually said, "When you guys come to Vegas, I will be there with you and we'll have drinks." And then he never showed up.
He did not. He did not. Victor came in, though.
Glenn no-showed Medina.
Yeah. Combined, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about breaking into hotel rooms, the UK government being too effective at security awareness training. For our second topic, threat actors are exploiting the beta channel to spread mobile malware. Google goes nuclear. And close with our fourth topic, which is yet to be determined by our guest Victor here.
No pressure, big man. Real quick. Victor has a nickname they didn't tell us about until recently.
That's true. Victor.
So, go for it.
Yeah, so the nickname's been given by Brad Luzoweski, and he calls me Lego hair. He says he's jealous of my hair.
And is it because you look like a blockhead, or?
I mean, he looks like you a little bit. I think he's still better.
No, we're talking about you, not me. I appreciate the
I
words of affirmation here.
Yeah, I think he likes my hair. I think it's just a common trend.
I mean, you do have a thick, glorious, full head of hair. I am a little jealous.
Work hard for it.
Who has a thicker head of hair? Is it Chris or you? I can't tell.
I don't know.
Who's got the more of the receding hairline? Let's see here.
Well, Victor's got a couple years on me, so probably I have a little bit more receding than Victor here. Good old Brad, friend of the show. He was a guest on at some point.
Yeah, Big Smart.
His name is Big Smart?
No, I mean, he's Big Smart.
Oh, okay. You and your hip language.
Closing the loop this week, we have 2 brief closing loop items. Google is still allowing malicious ads that lead to phishing pages. If you search for Amazon.com, the top sponsored result is a very convincing ad that looks like it's Amazon. And when you click on it, it takes you to a Windows Defender scam page. Shame on you, Google.
Yeah, how dare you? How do you guys sleep at night? Probably really comfortable. Billions of dollars in your bank account.
Yeah, man.
Is that the whole .zip debacle?
No, it's. I think the sponsored ad shows like an image, and the image shows like Google.com, and so when people click on it, it takes you to some convincing page that looks like Amazon, and it tells you to call a phone number, say you got a virus, this is a Windows Defender, call this number, and then it's one of those typical scams.
You know what? You can edit this in post, but let's call the number right now. Google it. Let's do it. Let's see what they want to say. What do I have to search for?
Let's see if it even comes up now. They might have blurred it out.
I mean, they have enough money to throw at it. They should be able to figure it out quickly.
1-844.
Oh, crap. All right. Hold on. I thought we had to Google and search it. 1-844. 14. Oh, God. 28. All right, we're on speaker. For some reason, Chris has a lot of incognito windows open. Looks like a very lonely man.
Why do you have 19 tabs?
All right, nothing. I mean, it answered, but they're just listening. Should we just do some ASMR, just like hot breathing into the mic? Victor, you know what I'm talking about. You probably watched that.
My space bar doesn't work.
It's like ASMR.
All right, let's try. I think there was like some noise when we first. You're going to hell. I don't know. It's not working. But we tried. We got to the root of it.
I will say, my friend called me last week, and she bought a Wi-Fi extender. And the Wi-Fi extender, she could not make it work. Like, she's not an IT person.
Was it called Extends? You buy it.
No, it was a legitimate brand, like a brand that we heard of, and I can't remember at the moment.
D-Link or Linksys or something.
Something like that. And she bought it, and she couldn't make it work for some reason. And she's a CPA, right? She's not an IT person. So she looked at the website that was on the pamphlet or the
So you told her to look at the
so she did
the URL.
She looked at the website, and someone else had bought the website.
Oh wow! So it's like a
so
discontinued
it was a scammer.
product. Yeah.
When she went on the website, they asked her to install like some remote desktop type of tool,
Like
and she
AnyDesk or something.
And then when they asked to run some commands, or like they started running some random commands in the command prompt, she's like, I don't think this is legit. And then she just killed it.
Oh, you think so?
And
really?
then she called me.
Yeah.
So pro tip, don't get your taxes done by her. She's not it. What's her name?
Mode.
Mode? She sounds adorable.
She's a very smart CFO, but she's not an IT
She's
person.
street smart? Or wait, no, she's
Book
book smart,
smart.
but
Yeah.
not street smart?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All
How do
right.
you guys know each other?
We work together at 2 jobs. Yeah. And she's a very good tennis player. We play tennis together.
So you hear? So she's the CFO and you're just an SE.
Well, I mean,
She's slumming it, right?
I wasn't planning on crying tonight, but
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, you're welcome.
VDL to the rescue.
We all start off somewhere.
For the second item, I brought my Flipper Zero here to Vegas and was able to successfully clone my hotel key. Right now, it's not a practical attack because it takes about 8 minutes to scan the card and you have to scan it twice, but it's a pretty cool gadget. I do get funny looks when I hold my flipper to the card reader in the elevator to get up to my room.
You don't get funny looks. No one's looking at you, man.
or someone else's room.
If I try to do that.
So, is there a reason why you scan it twice? Is that just like to make sure you can't be malicious with it, or
No, it's the first time it scans the keys, then you have to hold it to the reader, it scans the nonce values, and then you have to scan it again after you get the nonce values, after it calculates the keys.
it sounded like 3 times you had to scan it, not twice?
Yeah. Key twice, the reader once.
Really, say to hold up the door?
Yeah, the reader.
Okay, and how long did you have to hold it there?
Just like a few seconds.
Okay, that wasn't bad. But the actual cloning of the key.
That took about 8 minutes.
The computing.
Yeah.
Can you like look at the raw file?
Yeah, it saves you the SD card. So if you want to.
What's it look like?
I haven't tried it
Does it say room 112 where the players dwell?
yet. It does not.
Do you guys know what that even means?
Players, well,
Room 112 where the players dwell? No? It was like some sort of like R&B, like back in the 90s.
Players Holiday or something.
No.
you're old.
I am old, man. I was born in 1997. Just like you, man.
Well, for our first topic,
It was only you. Stop, man. We're doing something here. With Notorious Big, 112.
112.
Yeah,
Okay.
Notorious Big came on. He's like, room 112 where the players dwell. I know I sound exactly like him. He's still dead, everyone.
He is. Yeah.
Big dead.
For our
Big
first
smart.
It's smart. Big Dad. For real.
For our first topic, the UK government did too good of a job teaching its citizens about how to spot a scam website that people are not actually using their legitimate websites because they look like scam sites. The UK voter registration website is used to update contact information after someone moves, and it sends users to a website called householdresponse.com, which definitely does not sound like a scam website, asking for all of your personal information. They also mailed out notices to people they believed had moved and warned them that they can be fined up to £1,000 by not going to that shifty website and entering all of their personal information.
Hey, what's £1,000 in like real money?
It's like $1,500, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So the question is, why on earth are they not hosting this website at a uk.gov domain?
I think what's even better could be like maybe there's a pop-up. It's like must browse with like IE 5.5. You're like, all right, here we go, all over again. But I agree with you. Did they answer that question?
I don't know why. No, they didn't answer. They used a chipdesounding.com website instead of an official government website.
Does it still resolve?
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's their official website.
How do you do due diligence? Come on, man.
I mean, I'll add on this. I needed to renew my driver's license, and the government of Quebec started their own authentication system. So they have their own IDP, and I tried to create my own IDP, and it would not resolve. Like, it would not work. And apparently that's the case for thousands of people. And so I think that whenever, PubSec is trying to build their own IDP, their own website, their own domain, I don't understand why. I think they're trying to reinvent the wheel. I think they're trying to build something from scratch, and it doesn't make sense. I think they should just reuse what's out there, and having your own, having a weird domain name doesn't make any sense. I would think it's a scam. If I would get this letter, I'd be like, hell no.
So what was your IDP?
It's a new one.
It's like homegrown.
You have to create your own.
It's not Okta or one of those.
Yeah, you have to create your own.
I mean, I know that they have their own, but you said you tried doing your own with their own. So
no, so you have to.
It was like this.
No, it's not federated.
Okay.
No, it's not federated. You have to create your own. You have to input your social service, social number and
Social
everything, your date
number.
of birth and name and everything, and it would still not work.
Do you put in there how much weed you smoke?
Whoa.
Oh, got him. He does it every Drug test him. Freaking Victor. So Chris has loaded up the website.
Yeah, we went to householdresponse.com. It definitely looks like a scam website, although they claim it's legitimate, but it looks really convincing like it's a scam website.
It looks like a 10-year-old designed it.
Yeah.
The front page,
It's like
1998.
an old GeoCities website.
No, that's giving him too much credit. The only thing missing is the under construction blinking logo.
The little, the construction site.
With the
Hard
music.
hat. Yeah.
Man, can we just bring back MySpace? We'll have a top 8 again.
The GIF.
It's a music website now. Justin Timberlake bought it.
Wow, this is a bad investment.
Yeah.
50 Cent buys vitamin water, makes $1 billion. Justin Timberlake goes broke when he buys
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah.
It seems like a great idea on paper.
Smart.
Didn't pencil out.
Yeah. Interesting. And then they physically sent out people like postcards in the mail and told them to go to this website to update their info. So it's like, again, it seems very shifty. And then the UK is now sending out tweets and emails saying that, yeah, this is legitimate. Actually go there and update your information.
Can we try to update, or buy, householdresponses.com?
Like
just to see, what we get?
Like a typo squatting type attack. Good. That's our next business idea.
Not very profitable.
Yeah. Unless you want to fish people and get their personal info.
End up in jail and go to the federal pound me in the prison.
Oh.
Yeah. What movie was that? Was that Office Space?
Office Space, yeah. Now this is the UK. That's not like the US.
Wait a second. Have you seen Office Space? He's
I
giving
have no
us
culture.
deer and
I just work here,
obviously
man.
live in Canada.
Yeah.
All right. So before you come on the next podcast, you got to watch Office
I'm
Space.
smart, I'm polite, but I have no culture. That's the downside.
I think you're polite.
I try to.
Brian always throwing shade here.
Pitching shade.
They're just peanut butter and jelly.
All right.
Yeah, definitely watch Office Space. That's a good and timeless movie.
Grace, if you're wondering, Chris has his ring off right now. I have it in my hands. I mean, is it weird that he's in Vegas walking around without his wedding ring?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was single.
It's part of magic trick, Brian.
It was part of the magic trick, so he was being a good old boy. He actually had it on. And it's a tungsten ring, which is kind of weird because if you smash your finger, they have to cut your finger off. Or,
They will.
Yeah, you can't cut this.
That's what I heard, yeah. You can't
But
cut it off.
do you think I can throw it hard enough to shatter it?
I don't think so.
Can I try?
No. He said, I'm going to get fined for it. In the hotel.
How would you get fined? Like, what thing's gonna happen? This hotel is literally leaking everywhere.
It is.
You think you're gonna notice a little ding on the
It
tile?
actually is. The hotel's
It
being
is.
flooded right now.
Full disclosure, we had probably a little bit of rain, and then on the way back walking here, there were like massive areas of the casino that were shut off due to flooding.
And they put up the whole like crime scene tape too. You're like, oh man, someone was obviously murdered here. No, just a leak.
Just a little bit of rain. Yeah, that was
A little bit of
that was an interesting time. Thanks Iska there for putting us in the nice venue here.
So I was thinking, so we have like, you've seen the shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I get it. Like, I'm glad that we're selling swag to like give to like
Charity.
Charity.
Yeah, a portion of it goes to charity.
But what I think we should do is, you'll have to edit this out. It's not good. But I think we should just use that money to get us into a better hotel next SKO.
Well, you know what, man? I like my job. I like to be able to pay rent, so let's keep going.
Yeah. By the way, do you feel like all your clothes are ruined? Like, I feel like these hotels are so crappy that everything smells like cigarettes.
That's true, yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed it when you walked into my room here, but it does smell like...
Weed.
Yeah. Yeah, Victor noted. So, full disclosure, it was not me. It smelled like this
That's
way
fine.
when I got here.
It smelled like you didn't flush the toilet, bro.
We're inclusive, man.
And you had
Doesn't
Taco
matter.
Bell. Oh, we should get Taco Bell next. Should we eat some Taco Bell? I don't think they have anything for you.
Yeah, they do.
Bean burrito. Bean and cheese. Yeah.
Potato and
Oh, all right.
it's inclusive.
It's
Yeah,
inclusive.
that's the first thing I noticed when I walked in my room. And it's like, I could complain, but it's like, well, what are they going to do? But as long as I don't get dinged for it.
I heard some people in the link said that there's like blood on the wall and stuff. I'm like, that. I mean,
Yeah,
if it's so red, it's probably just wine. But if it was black, right? There's like
Yeah.
spatter marks.
it's
Dexter was
coagulated.
hanging out.
Yeah.
My friends at the Harris, and when we checked in, there was a paramedic conducting an intervention like 3 rooms down.
You said interracial. What are you doing with this?
No, intervention.
It's okay. You can save people.
It's
different-
It's fine.
It's one of
ethnicities.
those OD type events. You
Yeah.
need the Narcan. That's...
It's our group chat picture now.
Yeah, we I guess we got pretty far off topic here, but one of the I guess when we talked with Victor last time, I asked him, what was one of the things he noticed about Vegas, and at least for me, the last time I came here versus now is like the security guards here, they wear body armor, which they didn't used to wear, and then they all carry Narcan. Like there's a Velcro pouch attached to their vest that says OD kit, so it's apparently a thing now that even the security guards here need to wear body armor and have to have OD kits.
Can you imagine, like, you're like, it's the end of the road, right? Maybe you're homeless. You scrimp up enough money to OD. Some asshole cop brings you back to life. You're like, dude, I was trying to do a thing. You're over here blowing in my mouth. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, that's the...
Just kidding. He's not a cop. They're doing their job. I love them. But if I was definitely down on my luck and trying to kill myself, I'd probably be upset.
Why would you be here?
Why would you be anywhere?
Go in the desert. Like, go somewhere else.
No, man. You come
Disturb
here, you put it
people.
all on black, baby. To see what happens. Double those monies.
Yeah.
Did you gamble at all while you're here?
No.
Are you scared? Are you even of age?
Somewhat. I mean,
You would get carded, right?
so, yeah, I did at the bar. So I had to pull 2 cards to show him, but 2 IDs. But one thing that was funny though, I'm sorry,
Passport and driver's license? What are they?
I got my veterans card and my driver's license. Yeah.
Well, Canada doesn't have an army.
Well, we don't invade 176 countries, but we do apparently.
The price of freedom, baby.
Price of oil.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, Victor. Oh, Victor.
Iraq remembers. One story though, that quick story, but I had to replace One True Zero Life a couple months ago. So I went on stage and people looked at me and they're like, "No way, this kid is presenting anything at all, right?" So I said, you're probably wondering why there's a 15-year-old on stage, and everyone just started laughing. Like it was a joke of the year. So I'm just happy that
At least you own it. At least you
people
own
can
it.
make fun of me. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm going
Yeah.
to do that next time.
Yeah. Why is there a 15-year-old presenting to us, Brian?
No, there was some comedian, though. He was, like, presenting to, like millionaires, maybe even billionaires. Like, he was doing, like, a in-house thing. And there's, like, literally staff working on him.
Yeah.
Like, serving the drinks. And so he opened up with, so what did everyone spend their stimulus check on? And it was just the hotel staff laughed because like none of the rich people understood what's going on. They obviously didn't get one.
They didn't.
But talk about know your audience. Those two one.
All right, for our second topic, threat actors.
Number 2? Shoot.
Yep. Threat actors are taking advantage of a loophole for mobile app stores on iOS and Android to spread their malware. Google and Apple allow people to install beta applications on their devices to beta test and provide feedback on those applications. On Apple, it's an app called TestFlight, and I have beta tested some apps on there. The benefit of beta applications from a threat actor perspective is that they do not need to go through the vigorous vetting process that apps are normally required to go through to get into the mobile app store. What are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing, man?
Knock it off. Turn it off. The benefit of beta applications from a threat actor perspective is that they do not need to go through the vigorous vetting process that apps are normally required to go through to get into the mobile app store, allowing malicious apps to get installed onto these devices. Threat actors are already using this method to convince users to install cryptocurrency-related applications on their devices. Then, surprise, surprise, their cryptocurrency gets stolen.
So, who's smart enough to buy cryptocurrency but dumb enough to do that? Is a real question. Do you guys know anyone? Like anyone old enough to fall for that? They're like, nah, that's not real. We don't get it.
I think that's it. It's like older people. They don't realize. Who know? Like, they don't know. What is a beta application? What is it?
Some beta code. It's usually you open up the app TestFlight and then you enter a code, and that code gets you like a beta version of an application.
Yeah, but they're like 65. They play Candy Crush. They don't get it.
Say that again. Say like verbatim. They're 65 and they do it.
They're 65. They really don't get it.
I beeped you out, buddy. Anytime we say a bad word, we have a manual beep button.
A natural censor here, apparently.
Holy, I can't believe it. Holy, that's not real butter.
I think Brian is having too much fun with the in-room safe here.
TMF, too much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clever because if you try to submit it to the Apple App Store or the iOS or the Google Play Store, there's a vigorous vetting process to check for information stealing malware. They check for everything else. But if you go to the beta channel and you convince someone to install the app that way, then they don't go through those checks, and then your cryptocurrency gets stolen.
Can you imagine? Maybe that number that you call, the 844 number they were trying, it's like, hello, please install TestFlight. What? Is it TestFlight? Like, no, not Fright, it's Flight. And it's like, okay, and then it's just like, pound this, number in, and this 8, and like 8, ATE? No, the number 8.
I'd still be curious about the code reviews, though. They must be code reviewing like thousands of apps.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah, for beta, they don't. They might do like static code analysis, but I don't think they would check it.
Well, for the ones that they release, like the full release, I'm sure like it has to be automated. Has to be.
For the full release, yes.
And even then, I'm sure you could
skirt the issue.
Yeah, like you could do something. I'm sure there's something to do around that. Anything that is static, super easy. You can bypass that.
So all right, let's think about this real quick. So let's say the user's dumb enough, they TestFlight, punch in the code, they download the app. What are they literally just transferring cryptocurrency into this other wallet that's this sketch?
Yeah, they could.
Like it's sandbox, so they can't
Yeah, so there's no cross-app pollination, but you could either ask users to transfer money into that wallet, then they send it themselves, or what's more likely is they ask them to enter their 12-word recovery phrase into this app to quote restore their wallet, but then it actually sends it to the attackers, and then they gain access to that wallet and they drain it.
All right, so let's touch on this. It has nothing to do with this, but just Apple in general. You're running Android, kudos, whatever.
Smart.
Maybe you are, right? So I have a friend. He was saying he's got a little nephew, right? He must talk to his nephew on the phone. Unfortunately, nephew lives in Washington, D.C., and the mom works for the NSA. Mom says, my kid's never going to have an iPhone. And I was like, well, next time you talk to your sister, is it because she can't be like prying eyes, jerk, big brother thing? He's like, yeah, I can do that. So he calls her up. They're talking. He's like, "Oh, I want to ask you." He's like, "Is iPhone just more secure because they do this end-to-end encryption stuff?" And her answer was, "No, and we will only be using Android." So what does she know? And it kind of goes back to that, like that article. Was it an NSA or FBI person that had the 16 million wiener pics?
That was NSA.
So for the listeners, because I don't think it's topic number 3, some chick was arrested for having 16 million wiener pics on her phone, which in itself, I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, I don't know how that's illegal. And so you read that it was property of the U.S. federal government. So why do they have all these wiener pics to begin with? And why 16 million? There's 320 million U.S. citizens. You divide that by half. That's like 4.7 trillion. I'm not good with math. I'm not like that good.
What about Chinese? Why would you only want like one ethnicity of wieners?
Well, maybe it is globally. You're right. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a small fraction. But like, why?
3 billion.
And why are they, like? Why do they have the confidence to come in there? Like, we're going to sue this chick. She's going to jail. Why? Well, she's got some wiener pics that she stole from us. Wait a second.
Stole?
Yeah. Why does she have your guys' wiener pics, man? I don't understand. And like, what it like? Is it like, you know, like full salute, or is it just kind of hanging out in the shower? Like, what is going on
That's
there?
like typical NSA behavior, though. Hoarding information they don't need.
It's true.
I'm sure
Then
they
why would
do.
you?
Like 16 million, that's probably 1% of the wiener pics that you guys are paying taxes to hold.
Probably
Like,
less than 1%.
Probably less.
Yeah,
The
What are they
NSA
doing
probably
with
has
this
the biggest
information, though?
database.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Are they looking for sex crimes? Or
They're
something?
probably
Yeah,
looking
we've
for-
seen this one before, boys.
Everything. They probably have an MD5 value for everything.
Maybe they're. I can't even say it. It's too graphic. So never mind. I don't get it. That's all I'm saying. So, like, what if Apple really isn't as secure as we think it is?
It's
Why
possible.
you're probably like, man, dude, Apple's
No,
dumb.
I'm going to say, okay, hold
Why
on.
are you an Android bigot?
I just like Google. It works well. I like Gmail. I like Google Calendar. I like my phone. It's not bloated with like shit I don't need, like the Samsung.
That's
Samsung
smart, bro.
And yeah, and honestly, like going back to the NSA and geopolitics, I'm pretty sure that the NSA have like, you know, with the Logic Group and all those APTs, like they probably have the biggest hacking group in the world, or one of, for sure. So
Who would
they're
be-
probably collecting a ton of information.
Top 3 at least.
Top 3 at
Right.
least, for sure.
Canada's not even the top 200.
Oh, no. Our army is like 16 guys.
And when you retired, then it went down to 15. So
Oh yeah, it's going down.
you got to find a replacement.
People cried.
Yeah.
Miho, we miss you.
No,
What do you
that's-
think, Chris? What's up with all the winter pigs?
There's like Five Eyes nations. There's the US. There's the US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I think we have all the intelligence sharing efforts there. I think our allied countries should have some good technical know-how.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was the liaison for Five Eyes, and apparently it's a very interesting world.
Yeah, Five Guys, the burger joint.
Five
Amazing.
Eyes.
You know they give you free peanuts over there? Hey, it's
Peanuts?
free- Peanuts. I know what's on your mind right now. I'll be talking about wieners.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what's Five Guys? Or Five Eyes?
Five Eyes. It's the
Five Thrives?
5 English-speaking countries that we all share intelligence.
I don't think we do. Maybe a little bit. Like, oh, this is benign. We'll share with these idiots.
More than you think.
More than I think. Like,
Probably more than you think. Yeah.
you think we're like doing the good thing, right? It's like,
I mean, there's no good and bad. There's only countries against other countries.
I think the lines of good and bad have definitely been blurred with the global nature of cybersecurity.
So it's not good or bad. Then what is it?
Snowden knows. There's no good or bad.
So we had a discussion about this at our sales conference, and it was people are okay with him leaking information, but they think he went about it all wrong. Like they think he was manipulated into doing that through the channels because there was plenty of appropriate ways of doing it or legal ways of doing it. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna release this information, like I would, it's that that butt pucker moment. Like it's certain death. Like I'm gonna betray the U.S. government, take this information, then I'm gonna go through the proper channels of doing it. I don't believe it.
He's
I
probably
think
scared for his life.
he was scared for his life.
Yeah, it would have been. He had to think that he knows the capabilities of the NSA. Like, you can't log into your Gmail account and email it to the Washington Post or one of those newspapers. Like, he knew that they'd be monitoring those channels, so he had to go to, I think it was a WikiLeaks, wasn't it? Ultimately, he leaked it out there.
That's a lot of extra steps just to zip it and send it, but
Zip it up and zip it out.
zip it up, password it, send it.
Oh, there's no way. You crack that so quick.
Yeah, now he's hiding on Russia, with our buddy Evgeny Prigozhin just tragically passed away today, accidentally in a plane crash.
Yeah. What do you think about, the U.S. funding Ukraine?
So, I think this might be a
And
little.
it's not that much money, right? Because you guys sent more than twice to Israel. So I'm just asking, what's your take on this?
We gave 0 to Maui, right? So,
Like
anyways, you
200
have
billion.
to edit this entire thing out. So I wholeheartedly believe you're going to edit this out, right?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, please. So if we're going to be candid about it,
I knew it. I told him. The U.S. is funding Ukraine. Ukraine is fundamentally advancing your political agenda by fighting Russia.
Yeah.
So you're economically saving money by funding another nation to fight your war, which advances your own political agenda from a cyber perspective and from a physical, real world politics perspective.
I agree.
So I think it's actually making sense to fund Ukraine to keep fighting that war, where they're actually defending themselves against Russia. Because who are the U.S. trying to fight from a geopolitical standpoint?
Well, why mess with Russia? Why?
They did not. They were attacked first, right? Twice, 2015, and then.
You're saying that Russia was attacked first?
No, I'm saying Ukraine.
Yeah.
Crimea.
But I'm saying, why mess with it? So I believe that we mess with Russia by NATO putting in, I don't know.
After 2015.
I believe
it was the threat of NATO expansion into Ukraine.
But they still delivered some goods. Would it be no different than if Russia just started delivering some missiles over into Mexico? We'd be like, it's all out war. You know what I'm saying?
We only did that after 2015 when, Ukraine said, Russia's coming in. And Russia's like, no, these guys are independent. They had freaking tanks. No independent party militia has tanks, right?
Yeah.
And RPGs and stuff that you cannot acquire on the white market. So they got these.
The white market.
The gray market.
So this is
It was
the weird
Russia.
part.
It was Russia from the start. I was in the army at that time. I was analyzing that threat.
Yeah.
It was Russia from the start.
And here's the other weird part. So when you talk to people, so I was at a boot camp and I was asking people in EMEA that were here, I'm like, what do you guys think? They're like, we're stoked. Thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
You're making it wrong. You're helping us out. And the people in Germany are like, yeah, it's kind of awkward for us because if we interfere, they're just going to cut off our energy supply. So we're just going to stand and sit here and just thumbs like idiots. I don't know. Stay out of it. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's very questionable that the gas pipeline between Russia and Germany got bombed and exploded, so that cut off Germany's gas supply from Russia, and now they're forced to go energy independent. I think there were some questionable circumstances around that, and then for some reason, I think even both sides of the political aisle, there's not a left and right thing. It's a unanimous support for Ukraine, and not quite sure why, but I think they're probably taking the doctrine of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So therefore,
That's why I like bats, because they eat mosquitoes.
We're in a fight with Russia. We're fighting a proxy war. We're fighting Ukraine. We're fighting Ukraine to fight Russia. And
Do you think we should be helping? Answer the question, yes or no.
Should we think what?
Should we be helping?
I think they need to fight on their own. If they want our help, they should become a NATO member. And
They tried.
yeah, there's Article 6.
They are.
As
soon as the war ends, they're part of it.
As soon as it ends, but we'll self-fund it.
Yeah, because you cannot join while you're part of a conflict.
Yeah.
Which makes sense from a legal standpoint.
Yeah, but it's also Russian aggression inside Ukraine that they provoked a war there, and now we're pretty much on the hook, and we pledged nearly unlimited support for them, and we're $200 billion in aid over there now, and we have people here that need the money. I would think a little bit more than them, and just not getting involved in foreign conflicts, I think, would be better for domestic policy.
Do they? How many people are undergoing war consequences in the U.S.?
Not war consequences, but I mean, we have some serious disasters going on here,
Absolutely.
and it's
homelessness and drugs and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that money could be spent better domestically, and I don't know how the money comes from the budget, foreign policy money versus domestic money, but it just seems to me that that money could be better spent domestically here. Let Ukraine fight the war if they get invaded. Unfortunately, that's
like, all right, let's make this very simple. You're in the Deach household where we work for the bank of Brian Deach, and we're doing the budgeting for the year, right? And my wife wants to go on a vacation, yada yada yada, and we're doing the finances, and she's like, you know what? We kind of owe a lot of money to China. Oh, I'm sorry, credit card debt, right?
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to give $200 billion to feed the homeless, right? Like, we don't have this money we don't have to spend. Like, it's insane. I don't get it. And I feel bad for anyone dying over there, Russian or even Ukraine, to be honest with you, right? I don't think the Russians know any better. I just think they throw bodies at it and just hope and pray that something's going to, good will come out of it. It's terrible, but I don't think that we need to be policing the world anymore. I think about it, like,
so
Team America, World Police, baby.
Yeah, the last 60 years you had to, but now it's over, right?
Oh no, I was never for any of that stuff. That's where we're mistaken. I'm all for America, not so much the government, right? I love my soldiers that did everything that they do, but I have people really, really close to me. My brother-in-law that lost people that he loves that were even Afghani or Iraqi, and it's a horrible thing. He came back. He's like, for what?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a terrible thing. To think that you're going over there for an agenda, but it turned around like it was really not. It was for oil, right? Let's be straight up. Like we were doing it for something else, and it wasn't to liberate anyone over there, but it's to be a jerk off. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's you take NATO expansion off the table. Just tell Russia, right? Under Bill Clinton, the doctrine was we will never advance NATO one step forward towards Russia. So take NATO expansion off the table in Ukraine, broker a peace deal that says Russia gets to keep Crimea, which is predominantly ethnically Russian that want to be part of Russia anyway, and say Russia doesn't come any further, NATO doesn't go any further, and I think there's probably some room for negotiation there.
I think they're poking the sleeping bear over there.
But when you have people having rhetoric that says we're going to take back Crimea under any circumstances, not 1 inch further into Ukraine, I think that doesn't leave much room for compromise.
I swear to if Ukraine wasn't a viable destination port, right, to help expand Russia, they'd probably just nuke it, right? Like, if they didn't really have a need to actually occupy it, they'd probably take it all out. But I think they really want to be able to occupy the Ukraine.
It's that, and that, I think that's a red line for the entire world, that they say if they use nuclear weapons, then it's open season. We're going to bomb Moscow, St. Petersburg, you name it, that it's just going to be open season on Russia, and they know that's a war they can't win.
And then China's going to unleash the hypersonic missiles, and everyone's dead, right? Like there's no time to relax, to
mutually assured destruction. Yeah.
Yeah. And just wanted to add, I read a book called International Relations in the Cyber Age, The Co-Evolution Dilemma by Nazli Shukri and David D. Clark. And I think both of them are MIT professors. And the point they made is that the world now has two sets of politics. They have the cyber politics and the real world politics. And both of them are not related anymore. So you have your own world of like, okay, the NSA is attacking China, China is attacking back. And that's like their own world. And then they have US physically, protting.
It's kind of like a spy versus spy thing.
It's like a kinetic war.
It's like physical
kinetic versus cyber.
Politics, and then cyber politics. And I thought that was interesting. It's one way of looking at things.
You have a lot of good content here to figure out what you're going to keep. That's great.
Yeah, that's funny. Victor brings it up. I was an international relations major in college, and part of it is things like the MAD doctrine, mutually assured destruction, that you have two parties, and if Russia releases their nukes, we release our nukes, and nobody wins. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that's holding them back now, because they know that's just a red line they cannot cross.
Well, what sucks is that Putin really is kind of a loose cannon, right? Like, I think he knows he has two options, right? Just either die in a couple years or 10 years, right? And whatever, or go out guns blazing. I think it's guns blazing
of glory,
him, right?
Yeah.
And if I think he's watched some of the videos on there, it looks like he has like early onset like Alzheimer's. Like he's got like number one, he looks bloated all the time, so he's like probably pumped full of everything. He's got like the shake to him and stuff, and he's a nationalist. He wants to expand. I think he wants to do his thing, and if anything, if history taught us anything, he's gonna try it. Right? What he's got to lose? They're gonna fall off the face of the earth one way or the other.
I want to see Biden versus Putin MMA cage fight
in a cage match.
So you can eat their applesauce fast.
One's gonna fall asleep, and one's gonna just have a heart attack. So.
It's like an ex-KGB agent. I would not, even at my young age, I would not want to go up against him. Probably knows like 10 ways to kill you with his bare hands.
They'll probably take the Super Bowl ring and jam it down your throat. Who did he take that from?
Brady, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the owner for the...
Oh, Belichick.
Yeah,
Belichick. Yeah, Bill Belichick. He borrowed it and never gave it back.
Do you know that story?
Well, I know the NFL is like the lower league of the Canadian Football League. Like, we have our own league, and then you guys have a second division type of...
We've never heard of that. That's funny. Must be a disinformation campaign. Do you guys really hit football?
Yeah.
Not like soccer, right? That's what you mean?
No, like football.
American football?
Like rugby? Or like football?
Football.
No.
These guys make a solid like $60K a year. Like minimum.
What tax bracket are they
50% taxes.
It's not a 50%.
They don't have access to a doctor yet, but still.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we will make Ukraine talk topic 4. So topic 3, for our third topic, Google has finally removed their heads from their rears, at least partially, to require multiple administrators to approve major security changes for Google Workspace, their enterprise software business. If an administrator wishes to do something like remove two-step verification, they will require at least 2 administrators to sign off on it before the policy takes effect. Google also requires certain administrators with a high level of privilege to have two-step verification enabled for their account. Really, it's 2023 and only now requiring MFA for administrator accounts. Google has the Titan line of physical security keys. They could just give them away to admins. Administrator credential theft is a leading cause of account or even company-wide compromise.
It's kind of shocking since I think they've started doing MFA for like the free crap that's out there. Like they just turned it on. Like you didn't even have a choice. I don't ever remember enrolling in the hey, open up YouTube and approve this app. Did you have to enroll? I don't even know.
I don't think so. I think if they knew you were enrolled in multiple applications, they just did it by default.
But too odd. Like, it's about time. Like, I remember my first job, or my second job after the Army, I was at the bank, and whenever I wanted to apply for access to an application, I had to get the application owner approval and then my manager's approval. So it's always a 2FA type of request. So you needed, permission from 2 people.
Yeah, it's a 2-person rule. I mean, that's like a
Always.
fundamental part of IT security is that you need 2 people, just like the nuclear missiles. If you want to launch a nuclear missile, you need 2 people to work together, turn the key at the same time, and they either have to be colluding together or it's a real emergency. You have 2 people launching the nuclear missile. Same idea.
In Tucson, Arizona, they have the Titan Missile Museum, and as part of I don't know what kind of treaty or something like that had to do with nuclear silos. So apparently, Arizona had like 25 or 26 of these things. And the silo is still there to this day. So half of it is cemented over and the other half is window. So aerial footage would show that this is not usable. So this is at least what they say.
It's part of the SALT treaty, Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty.
Yeah.
Or Limitation Treaty. Yeah.
If you go down there like Monday through Friday, what's kind of cool is that sometimes they'll have retired military personnel that actually served in there. So you can actually do a tour. So you go down, you do all the different living quarters, and then you can walk across this corridor that actually takes you into the missile. The missile is like it's still in there. There's no warhead on it at all, but you can see the sheer girth of this thing is incredible. And then they take you into the control room, and they'll do like a simulated launch. Like they
show
have
you
2 people,
the 2 keys,
the 2 keys and stuff. Like it's actually pretty rad. So if you're ever in Tucson, I definitely would recommend it.
Where's Tucson?
It's about 90 minutes south of Phoenix.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty far for you if you're going to try to make the track. But next time you go down to,
it's only like a 36-hour drive. Like
yeah. Well, I say that because you were just in Zion, so
yeah.
We continue to get. We continue to great. We continue.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm done.
Continue to great.
Triggered an error message.
Oh my gosh.
We continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest Victor is up.
Alright, guys.
He literally just Googled it right now. What jerk.
No, I had it for a while now.
Okay, let's go.
What did the dad spider say to the kid spider?
What?
You're spending too much time on the web.
Alright. That's a good one, man. Not even a dad here.
Not
Your
even
your unborn children are so proud of you. Man.
All right, to wrap things up, Flipper Zero is a cool tool. The UK government has to convince people their website is not a scam. Attackers are abusing the beta channels for app stores. Google finally requires multi-party approval for key administrator changes. And the conflict in Ukraine is very complicated. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to all the listeners and subscribers who rated 5 stars on the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. For our co-host Brian Deitch and our guest Victor DeLuca, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
1, 2, 3. Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.